Hey, what is up, Cancer? This is your astrological monthly forecast for November. Before we get started, I just want to forecast for anyone born under the sun, moon, or rising sign in the sign of Cancer. If you don't know what your moon or rising sign are, you can go to a website that I put in the description box that tells you all of that information. If you have your birth time, that's how you know your rising sign. If you don't have it, well, you can still see all the other planetary placements that make up you as a unique individual. And don't forget to watch your monthly forecast for your moon and rising signs as well. And if you would like a personal reading so that I can look at your chart and give you some insight and clarity into anything, I would love to do so. Just go to my website, which is indigomoon.astrology.com, and we can get a reading scheduled for you. All right, Cancer, so now on to your November forecast. Okay, Cancer, so this month I'm trying something new. I am using this cool little board that I bought. It's a circular chart, and I can put little symbols of the planets and see what everything is going for you guys this month as far as the planetary activity and energies. And it is transparent, so it may be a little bit hard to see, so forgive me for that. Still working on it, but let's check it out and see what's going on for you guys this month. These are the planetary transits for you guys this month. I'm using my new board that I got. It's a little clear, transparent, so hopefully you guys can see all the little symbols. Here's you, here's Cancer, that's your first house, and we're gonna go around and talk about where the other planets are landing for you guys this month. So I know this stuff is a little hard to see. I'm gonna work on maybe trying to find a way to make them a little bit more easier to see, but working with what I've got. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about where the sun is at for you guys. For the majority of the month, it's going to be in the sign of Scorpio. For you guys, that is your fifth house. The fifth house, it deals with your children, if you have children. It deals with also romantic relationships, the casual ones that are, you know, you're dating and you're just having a good time, having fun and going out on fun dates and really just enjoying someone's company in a fun way. It doesn't have to be necessarily like strings attached. It can be the energy of like the honeymoon, you know, like the butterflies in the tummy, really getting excited about another person's company and enjoying it. So the fifth house is also, if you own your own business that you started up from scratch, that is also highlighted when the sun is here. So the sun here is shining a light in this area of life for you. Okay, so it's really helping things to be seen a lot more. So it can show you what is going well and what is not going so well that you may need to work on and that you may need to fix or whatever. But you may really have to pay more close attention to your kids at this time. They may be requiring a lot more of your attention. And also you can just be having a lot more childlike fun yourself, which is what the fifth house rules. Really getting out there and enjoying some like fun events, you know, fall festivals or concerts, just anything that you guys find fun. And a lot of Cancers can be homebodies and things like that, but this energy is going to really ask you to actually get out and enjoy yourself out there in life. Or, you know, if you don't really get out, just enjoying some really good time, romantic time alone with another person or with your children. Now, this can bring to light anything that has to do with your own business. If there's anything that needs to be, like I said, adjusted or, you know, just anything that needs to be focused on within your own business or even starting your own business, having the ideas come to you for your own business. The first part of the month is a really good time to bring that about, and the sun will definitely highlight that area for you. So that's the sun hanging out in Scorpio through the 21st. Now, on the 9th, we're going to have Mars. He's the planet that rules drive, action, initiative. He could sometimes be a little aggressive. But he really gets you motivated, like physically doing stuff, okay? Mars is going into Aquarius. And for my Cancer people, that is your 8th house. Now, the 8th house deals with joining forces with another person when it comes to money and finances, Also intimacy. Okay, so I would say with you guys having the sun here in your 5th house of romance and Mars here in your 8th house of intimacy, this could be a really good time for my Cancers that are enjoying relationships with another person. You know, even if you're already in one, it could bring about a fun romantic energy. And then this can bring about a lot of action and drive towards intimacy. Maybe even if you have, issues with intimacy within your relationship, Mars here can help to bring a little bit more mojo, a little more pizzazz. I don't know how to put it lightly. He can heat things up for you guys, okay? So to kind of put that spark back in your relationship, you guys have been missing that if it's been kind of stagnant or whatever. So Mars can definitely help with that. Mars in the 8th house, this could be a time where some people, they do some kind of secretive actions, do stuff that is really under the radar, So just use that to the best, most positive way. Try not to use it for shady stuff, Cancer. Even Cancers can be shady sometimes, even though you guys are generally like a very sweet-natured energy. Some people can do some shady stuff with Mars in the 8th, so just be careful with that. But it can be a time to really enjoy intimacy and really take action and initiative towards 8th house matters that have to do with finances. Say, for example, you're a Cancer and you're unfortunately, maybe going through a divorce, right? Because Pluto is here in your 7th house of relationships in Capricorn, which can be a lot of transformation for a lot of Cancers, So maybe you're a Cancer that's going through a divorce and you have to fight for alimony, you have to fight for child support, for, the splitting of joint finances or possessions. Mars here can help you to be more of the aggressor and have an upper hand, because Cancer, just generally speaking about your energy, you guys can be sometimes pushed over and ran over because you have such big, kind hearts. So maybe the other person could be like, no, you're not getting any money from me, shoot, and then you can finally, when Mars moves here, be like, excuse me, yes, I am, and I will, and I'm going to get a very good lawyer. So that can be Mars in the 8th house. But on the positive side, yes, if you have anything that's been stagnant in your relationship, Mars can kind of heat things up for you, which can be a very, very good thing. So on the 12th of the month, we have Mercury, and he rules communication and the logical, rational thinking. Mercury moves into Sagittarius, and for you guys, that is your 6th house of work. 6th house of work. So Mercury, he is where your mind is going to be most focused. So that is definitely going to be on work. This is skills of the hands too. So a lot of times I've seen when people have Mercury go into their 6th house, their workload gets bigger. They really start having a lot more to be in charge of and to do, and they have to be very quick thinking with it. It's like they're seen in the workplaces like, here, Cancer, here's more work, here's more work, here's more work. You can handle this, So you're like, But Mercury, it does help you to, like I said, think faster, to organize things better, to as long as you're not trying to take on too much at one time. And Mercury is in the same house right now as Saturn. Saturn's been here since 2015, okay? So they're going to come together actually on the 23rd. And Mercury's going to be asking Saturn, what do we need to do to work on this area of life? What do we need to do to make it, more efficient? And Saturn here, a lot of my Cancers could have gained like maybe some sort of position in work to where it's a lot of hard work in the workplace. Like your workload is huge, for example, or you got to be a manager now in the work environment, maybe in a position of authority, which Saturn also rules. And, Mercury here coming in contact with Saturn is going to ask, okay, what do we got to do to, work harder, work stronger, work better? Maybe if you're a manager in a management position, Mercury here is going to help you to manage and organize things as far as your employees a lot better. So the 6th house is also the house of health and your daily routines. So Mercury can help really get your mind going and no longer be stagnant in that area. Like, for example, if you've been meaning to work out, okay, Saturn here is probably teaching you lessons about your health. And, just on a negative side, just being honest, could have brought some Cancers, some health issues in the last year that you have to really work on. And Saturn brings that to your attention. Or maybe some bad habits that you have that's can cause health problems. And Saturn is like, hello, like if you don't stop eating like donuts every morning and drinking coffee every single morning, you're never going to lose weight. You're never going to bring your blood sugar down. You're never going to let go of your caffeine addiction, and so on and so forth. That's just an example. So Mercury comes here and is like, yo, Saturn, like, come on, let's go. Like, what can I do? What can I do? You know? So your mind is on that stuff a little bit more and can get your mind more active with some ideas of how to, you know, master being better with your health and your daily routines, and also your diet, which the sixth house rules. Now, on the 26th, Mercury will come into a trine, which is a positive aspect, with Uranus and Aries. And for you guys, this is your 10th house. Well, we have Mercury in the 6th house of work, the work duties, the work environment, Uranus in the 10th house of career. So the trine aspect is very positive. Uranus is a very genius energy. It's like just receiving ideas in a flash like that. And so Mercury is your thinking. So you can all of a sudden have some really great insight into how you can work harder, which is the 6th house, towards career goals and career changes, which is the 10th house. Uranus rules sudden changes. So some of you guys can have a sudden change happen within your work environment or your career. That can be very positive for you, a sudden insight. Some of my Cancers actually may suddenly quit a job. Maybe it's been so like hard work for you, and like you haven't been getting the appreciation and the recognition that you want. So Mercury trine Uranus comes along and you're like, you know what? I quit because I want to change my career. I want to change direction now, or I want to go after something to where I'll get more recognition, which is the 10th house, because I'm not getting it at this job. So there can definitely be a change, or maybe just some better ideas that come to you, and insight that comes to you within the job sphere. This is around the 26th that this happens. All right, so let's talk about Venus. Venus is the planet of love, relationships, and enjoyment of the five senses. And she is hanging out in Sagittarius for the first part of the month up until the 12th. So this is a work environment. This is health. So she could have been, you know, making you guys work on your appearance, maybe work out to where you can look better and feel better. This can be, you know, the work environment you may have been seen in a more positive light, or just had a more pleasant experience in the work environment and the job. Maybe it's been hard for you, but when Venus is hanging out here, it's been a little bit better for you. Venus also rules wherever she travels is where you can meet love and relationships. You have a higher chance of meeting love or relationship partners there. So this could have been maybe a relationship romance within the work environment. Maybe you met somebody at work. Maybe because Venus rules female figures, a new positive female figure could have come into your work environment as well. Now on the 12th, Venus moves into the next sign, which is Capricorn, which is your 7th house. So Cancers, yeah, Venus in the 7th is really, really good. Venus in the 7th could be you just enjoying the company of other people in a very casual way, or maybe even start bonding with them, getting to know them like on the surface level, you know, hanging out with girlfriends, whether you're a guy or a girl, just enjoying the company of other people, especially because we have the sun in the 5th house of enjoying good times, and then we've got Mars here. I see a lot of good relationship energy here for Cancer this month. So Venus moving here. Venus will be here from the 12th on through the end of the month. Really, really good relationship energy. Softening things up within your relationship. Working on things. And just bringing, like a lot more positive energy to relationships for my Cancer people. Now, the only thing I would warn you of is around the 25th, Venus will come into the same degree as Pluto. Okay, so Venus and Pluto speaking to one another. Pluto is transformation, and it's also very like an energy of control and domination on a negative side. So Venus is your relationship and love, domination and control, and jealousy can be brought about, okay? And also, just kind of start looking in your partner's phone, asking them more questions. What are you really doing? Who are you talking to? Where are you really at? Who are you with? All that stuff can be brought about in your relationships on a negative side. But on the positive side, it can mean just a lot more getting to know somebody on an intimate level, versus surface level, which can be good for you guys too. So now let's talk about these lunar events where the new moon and full moon are going to be, because especially for Cancers, you guys are ruled by the moon. So these changes affect you every single month, a lot more than they may for other signs, because this is your ruling luminary is the moon. So first of all, we're going to talk about the full moon in the sign of Taurus. This happens when the sun is here in Scorpio, which is your 5th house, and then the moon is up here in Taurus, which is your 11th house. This happens at 22 degrees of Taurus. That means that these energies are opposing one another. So this brings about a change and a final decision that has to do with both areas of life, 5th and 11th. This is love and romance and creativity. It's children and it's your own business. The 11th house is friendships, groups of friends, groups of like-minded individuals. It's also like the masses, like social media, you know, people that you meet there, come in contact with there, or, you know, like Facebook groups. I always give that example because that's very popular. Instagram, all that stuff. So with a full moon happening there, I would say some of my Cancers, you guys have a really good chance this month of meeting someone online, maybe a friendship turning into a romance, and a final decision is made to and proceed with that, especially because you're going to have Venus move into your 7th house a couple days before. So a final decision with maybe, turning a friendship into a romance, or maybe even you may have to let go of a friendship in order for a relationship to thrive a little bit more. Or, just a final decision is going to be made here. Maybe you decide to let go of some of your social media endeavors in order to have a relationship be strengthened, like shut down your Instagram if you're getting a little too much attention there, have a little too much fun, and then you get in a serious relationship and it's like, I don't really like you talking to all those people. That's on a negative side, at least in my eyes. So hopefully that doesn't happen to you, Cancers, where you have somebody be too jealous, where you got to cut off your social media. For some Cancers that are more focused on their business, since the 5th house rules having your own business, this can be like a breakthrough, like a final decision to maybe have your website put up, okay, which is the 11th house, and reach the masses on a more higher scale. And then with Venus being here in your 7th house of other people, they can be seeing you in a more positive light, and that can give a boost to this, okay, to this full moon, bringing you to put yourself out there on social media more to help enhance and boost your business. So that is pretty awesome. That's the full moon on the 14th. Now on the 29th, we have a new moon happening in the sign of Sagittarius at 7 degrees. That's when the moon and the sun are in the same sign at the same degree, and they bring a new beginning. So for you guys, this is your 6th house of health and work and your daily routines. Okay, so we've got Mercury here, Saturn, Moon, and Sun, all highlighting the 6th house. I can see some of my Cancers having a brand new beginning when it comes to your health, making a decision to say, all right, so Mercury and Saturn have talked it out, okay? And this is what we got to do to improve our health. So now we're going to just really finally initiate this new beginning around the 29th or after the 29th, to where we do let go of a bad habit, or we do begin a new health routine, working out, a better diet, maybe start seeing a regular health professional in order to help improve a health issue if you have any of those going on. Maybe it has to do with a job, starting a new job. You know, maybe Mercury and Saturn have been like plotting, how can we get a new job, a better job that's more true to us, we're happier there, or whatever. Here comes the new moon and it's like, bing, all right, a new job, you know, or we see what job we want and now, we go after it. This can also mean, hey, we've been talking here and this job is a little too difficult for us, okay? So let's quit. Here you go. New moon comes, you quit. All right, so new beginning with job and health on the 29th. All right, Cancer, so that was it for your November 2016 forecast. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope it was insightful for you or helpful in any kind of way. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see your monthly forecast every single month from moi. And if you would like a reading from me that's personal, that's only for you and your unique birth chart, then go to my website, which is indigomoonastrology.com. And I put a link below. Make it easy to go there straight from this video. So go ahead and schedule a reading with me, and I would love to speak with you. All right, so take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys in December. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this year is almost over. Can you? All right, take care. Peace.